prepped in the morning, ready to go, almost. Little Chica's packing up, ready to go. Oh, she poked around the corner.
I see you.
Anyway, we are gonna go show you our newest acquisition. My son Talmadge picked up some friends. He got himself some chicks. Let's see his little chickies. Here's his little friends. Do we have names for them yet, children?
Yes.
Could you show us who's who?
The name's my chicken.
Okay. This big black one is Raven.
Raven.
The tiny black one is Oreo. It's hard to tell between the two brown ones, but this one's Buttercup and that one's Catherine. The little small one, the itty bitty yellow one, is Sparky, and the giant yellow one is Honey.
Honey. All right. So those are our little friends. As you can tell from my shirt, how to pick up chicks. We are experts in fowl.
Well, we made it up here. It's Saturday morning. It's kind of crisp and beautiful. Silly Texas weather. Okay, so we've got a big load with us here in the trailer. So we're gonna get things unloaded and we're gonna work on this fence around part of this pasture in the middle of these buildings over here. So we've got a lot to do. We'll see what we get done and we'll check back in. So here's Honey. Ah, he's stepping through my photo.
My best shot.
Oh yeah, baby. Oh.
We just had some lunch. We finished a bunch of posts that are actually here in this little area, and I want to show you some of them. The ground here is really clay filled, and it's got a lot of red dirt. You can kind of see it potentially as you look down. We've got these posts we were finishing up. We put them, these are 6.5 inch, these posts are 3-inch posts, 3 to 4 inch posts, and they're 6.5 feet long. These are going to be just for pigs. The pig enclosure will be right here, just this first area of grass. We put them in about 2.5 feet in, so they're sticking out a little over 4 feet because our woven wire is actually going to be 47 inches high. So the woven wire will come to about here on the posts. The ground was actually pretty easy to go ahead and do. There wasn't a lot of difficulty. There's a lot of clay and stuff, but for the most part it's pretty red. When we did this, we put all the posts in the corners and then dragged a line between them so that way we could get a straight line between. And that's when we set the brace posts right down here. These brace posts were set off those lines, and that's the one we have over here. I want to get this pig pasture done before the day's over with, which means we have to run the cross braces on each of these posts. I need to go to the store and get a 3/8 inch drill bit that's about anywhere from about at least 8 inches long. It might be even a little bit longer, to run these pins through. So I'm running off to the store. I'll catch you when I get back. All right, back from the store. We got the drill bit that we wanted. We installed and drilled out for the brace pins. So where I am standing and doing the measuring, it's a 10-inch brace pin. Over where Nathan was standing, it was a 5-inch brace pin. Right now we're just cutting the posts that are going to be the actual H brace, the cross piece, measuring those and cutting them with a chainsaw. Since we're going to do 2, 1 going each direction, we're just going to measure both of them at the same time before we do any of our cuts. Once they were cut, we decided to actually drill out the bore inside. So each post on each end is drilled out to accept the brace pin that's going into it. There's different ways to do these. Going back now, just re-watching some things, I think maybe I would do it a little bit different, but all in all, it still works the same. Here we're just putting the rest of them in, lining them all up, hammering them in, and making sure that we leave a little bit out on those brace posts where I'm hammering out right now for the wire. At the bottom of the corner post, we're going to put staples to accept the wire that's going around. These have double barbs. They also have a slanted tip on them, so when you put them in there they do spread. And you can see the two barbs that are sitting there. So we're going to put those down as close to the ground as we can, hammer those in, and then we're going to put a staple down through them so when the wire goes around it, it doesn't go ahead and actually cut into the actual post. It'll just hopefully slide on that staple. The staple I just hammered in is left out a little bit so that way it doesn't lift up and slide up the post. This is an image just of our finished product. It's not perfect, but it looks pretty good. Here you can see that we went over the tops of those brace pins on the end, and then likewise we have the staples and all the other sides of the wire hanging down at the bottom. So all good.
Oh, I thought you were going to take her in the grass. That wasn't nearly as exciting as I was hoping for. Oh, that was so worth it.
I'll push mommy, I'll push.
Did you hear him say, "Don't fall over"?
We are back on week 2, and we're finishing up T-posts right now. You can see the field here. It's just this little quarter-acre spot almost, whatever size it is, but we have all these T-posts. We've done 3 sides. We've just got 1 left, and we're making some progress. The 2 boys and I mainly did all these T-posts, and of course we start with Grant, who's going to have his competition against his brother Talmadge, and then I'll go ahead and finish things off. But T-posts are really basic to use. You just go ahead and hit it in with a driver. That's the silver thing. We make progress, check its alignment, wiggle it about every once in a while. Mari is holding that string line, you can see, to try and make sure we stay in a straight line. And then little Bug goes over there with her little stick, and she goes ahead and checks to make sure we're about the same height. You can use a stick cut at a certain length, or you can use a string line right at the top to measure it by. There's different ways you can do it. It doesn't really make a difference, just as long as it looks pretty good. General rule, keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink the thing. It's just a stupid hog. You're going to eat it at the end of the day anyway. Just as long as they don't get out, it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay guys, I want you to see this. These are 2 Strainrite strainers. They have 2 holes here on this guy. We also have this arched thing here to wrap the wire around, and the idea is that you put the thing in there, you ratchet a bunch of times, and it winds it around. This is another one. This one only, however, has 1 hole, and so they're different, and they don't tell you that from the store. You use this white tool and you put it around the sides, and you're supposed to just go ahead and ratchet it. It fits around it. It works perfect when you have 2 circular sides on each side, and you just ratchet as such. This tool, however, only is a solid bar, so it makes it really hard to go back and forth. Others that have a spring that go up and down, they work a lot better. So this one is different than the first one. This one has a socket on the end of it, a square instead of a circle. My tool doesn't do anything. What you have to do on this guy is get a socket wrench, because this does not fit. That's not so bad, except as you turn it, what happens is all your moment is on the side of it, and so it starts to twist it, and it starts tweaking it, and so it gets hard to keep that line inside that groove. I don't mind this one. After using both of them, I think this one actually is probably the better one, but just know that there are 2 different types, and they have different holes, and so you just got to remember which one you want. You can pick either one. Just know that there's 2 different styles. We wanted to give you a picture of us doing it. We've already done all the other corner posts. We're using a high tensile wire. Talmadge is there on a spinning jenny. He's unraveling the wire, and we're straining it. You got to go up at the corner post at the top of the brace pin and down by Sandra at her end and go through or under the staple. Once you have everything generally wrapped, we have the Strainrite strainer. You stick it through the end, and then you just loop it around at the back side about 6 times. It's actually pretty tough. It's not super easy. Just make a bend in the handle, and then you snip it off and you're done. On the other end, you got to make a 90 or a bend in the tip on the other side of the wire. That tip gets stuck through the Strainrite holes in that rotating shaft that we showed you previously. You stick it in there, and then you start the cranking process. Keep some tension on it so that way it doesn't get loose. You saw Mari standing on it, Ratchet it all the way up, give it some good kicks to get everything situated and stretched out, and then keep retightening it, and then you're all good to go. We finished up all the H braces, all the straining, all the T-posts, and before we finish this day, we wanted to go over and do the line again.
All right, so this is where we were hacking things out last week. We brought some caution tape, so we're actually marking the line. So this is the very corner. They're on the neighbor's property now. Neighbor's property. Caution tape. Okay, so we can follow that. Now that I'm touching it. It's hard to see, but it goes all the way down there. A long, long line. Okay, well, we finished up at the ranch. A few things we learned. 1, projects always take longer than we think. Number 2, weekend ranching is tricky because we're gonna forget things and we're far away. So between that and our inexperience, we've got a lot of time working on these projects that we're gonna keep showing you as we go along on this adventure together. So don't forget to subscribe and like us and keep hanging in there as we figure this out together. We'll catch you next week on Blackacre Ranch.